Biraz erken bağlandım bugün. Biliyorsunuz Instagram bir saatte kapatıyor yayını. Yayının başında biraz Colin'den bahsedeceğim. Ondan sonra Colin'i yayına alacağım. Hani çok da bir saati geçmek sıkıntı olabiliyor. Hani Colin'in de başka bir programı var. O yüzden bir saat içinde röportajı da bitireceğiz. Ama üstüne de ben biraz konuşmak istiyorum. Çünkü yayının büyük bir kısmı İngilizce olacak. Aralarda ben çevireceğim ama yine de bir özet geçmek istiyorum. Hani hiçbir şey de atlamanızı istemiyorum. Çünkü bu önemli bir yayın. Colin Scott gibi bir üstadı her zaman bulamıyoruz. Hele şimdi emekli oluyor. Bu son röportajını bizlerle yapıyor olması, bize böyle teşekkür veda şansı veriyor olması çok çok güzel. Birazdan bu arada yorumları kapatacağım çünkü çok fazla yorum geçiyor aşağıda. Yarısı Türkçe, yarısı İngilizce olacak. Hani Colin'in de dikkatini dağıtmayalım istiyorum. Sizden de zaten şeylerinizi topladım. Yorumlarınızı, sorularınızı. Bu arada harika yorumlar geldi. Bu arada Colin bilmiyor bu sizin yazdığınız bu güzel dilekleri. Yayının sonunda bir sürpriz yapıp sizin güzel notlarınızı da okuyacağım kendisine. Bakalım duygulandırmayı başarabilecek miyiz? Ama bu kadar önemli işler yapmış bir insanı da böyle hani kuru bir teşekkürle göndermeyelim dedim. Hani bütün Türk viskiseverlerin Chivas aşkına hani Colin'e olan saygılarını iletmesini istemiştim ve çok güzel mesajlar geldi. Yüzlerce mesaj geldi. Onlardan bazılarını seçtiklerini paylaşacağım. Biraz daha bekleyelim. Saat ancak saat başı falan oluyor sanıyorum. Ne güzel mesajlar gelmiş. Ben mümkün olduğunca tabii kameraya bakarak konuşmaya çalışıyorum. Aşağıya bakınca yayın kötü görünüyor. Burkay Bey çok güzel seslidir, evet, benim sahnede de dinlemişliğin var oradan biliyorsun. Artık müziğe çok istediğim kadar zaman ayıramıyorum maalesef. Bu viski işlerim ve son zamanlarda çok zaman almaya başlayınca maalesef koro, solo, klasik müziği biraz bırakmak durumunda kaldım. Maalesef ona da en kısa zamanda tekrar şey yapmak istiyorum. Bu arada bakıyorum Colin gelmiş mi yayına diye. Colin İskoçya'dan bağlanıyor. Evet. Colin'i yayına alıyorum şu anda. Korkarım Colin offline oldu. Ha, bir saniye.
Oh,
Hi, Colin.
it
We
made
made
it.
it. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, wait a minute, hold on. Why haven't I got the same sound as before?
I just turned off commenting, so we won't be seeing texts
Oh,
below.
sorry, I've got to. Sorry, I'm going to go. Yep, sorry, Mr. Buckley. I've got to go back and get my settings and put it into my earphones.
Okay, sure, sure. Colin tekrar geliyor. Onu beklerken ben biraz da Colin'den bahsedeyim tabii. Hani siz de biliyorsunuz, benim röportajlarımı da okudunuz. Ha, Colin geldi galiba tekrar. Okay. In the meantime, I will talk about you and when we met, so it will be in Turkish. Colin biliyorsunuz 47 yıldır bu işte ve Chivas'ın baş harmancısı, master blender olarak görev yapıyor. O yüzden hani yaşarken efsaneleşmiş isimlerden bir tanesi. Hani bugün içtiğimiz Chivas 18'lerin kutusunda hep bir imza görüyorsunuz. Arkamda bir kutu var mesela. Bu kutuda bir imza görüyoruz. Orada gördüğünüz imza işte bu beyefendinin, Colin Scott'un imzası. Böyle efsane viskilere imza atmış birini bugün yayında konuğum olarak aldım. Colin İskoçya'dan bağlanıyor. Tabii ki evde kalmış o da karantina döneminde. İnternet bağlantısıyla ilgili sıkıntılar yaşıyor sanıyorum şu anda. En kısa zamanda onu da şey yapacağım, yayına alacağım. Yoksa yayında değiliz diye. Kulaklığı halledince tekrar gelecek Colin. Ve söylediğim gibi işte hem harmanlama ekibini yöneten hem de yeni viskileri yaratıp işte portfolyoya Chivas 18 gibi ya da 1909'da lansmanı yapılmış Chivas 25 gibi viskileri tekrar katan bir insan. O yüzden sektör için çok önemli bir isim ve işte farklı viskileri harmanlayıp Chivas 18, Chivas 25'i nasıl yarattığını bugünkü yayında birlikte konuşmayı planlıyorum. Tekrar gelmiş Colin, evet. Hesabı Chivas Regal Colin. Bu arada eğer takip etmek isterseniz sonradan.
Yeah, Christina. I've been accepted. I'm back in. Yeah. Right.
It's okay now?
Right, Mr. Barkay, sorry, we have a few
No.
problems here that
No, it's okay.
internet and high connections are going a bit haywire.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So first of all, thank you
So
so much.
apologies for the late arrival.
No problem, no problem. First of all, thank you so much. It's a pleasure, and I'm really, grateful that you accepted to have this interview with us, with the Turkish whiskey enthusiasts. Turkey loves Chivas. Chivas is a huge whiskey in Turkey, and everybody knows you, in fact, because of the signature on the bottle. But I wanted them to see you in person and to hear about your experiences and in your career. So, I'm really happy that you accepted this interview to be with us today. So, how have you been lately? I believe you're at home, right? Because of this Corona thing, and because of the lockdown.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm working from home, which is great because we've been very busy. And, it's fantastic, this modern technology, in that, we don't have to go to the office to speak together across Instagram and also speak to people all around the world. It's fantastic what technology and the digital scene is all about. And for me, Mr. Burke, thank you very much for inviting me for this session with you, because Turkey has always been a very special part of my life, and it's a very special country, and it's got great people who have a great passion for Scotch whisky, and in particular Chivas Regal. And I've been fortunate enough to come to Istanbul on several occasions, on many occasions, to meet some great people, eat some great food, and drink, of course, Chivas and great whiskies. So, and also, it was 3 years ago. I met you, and we had that great interview. So it's just so good to see you again. And here we are today, talking about just one of these greatest whiskies in the world, which of course is Chivas Regal 18. So perfect. All I can do is thank you and say hello to everyone in Turkey.
Thank you so much for coming. Actually, I have my 18 with me, and I have a very special 18 with me because when you came to Istanbul 2016, I was still a unexperienced whiskey blogger. It was a hobby for me, but now I'm much more experienced. I wrote a book on whiskey, and now my full-time job is whiskey. I'm a whiskey trainer and writer, and the good wishes you wrote on this bottle for me, and here you signed it for me. This is one of the most special bottles that I have in my collection here, and I will always keep it. It's a very special bottle.
It's always a pleasure to write.
You've been in business for 47 years, as far as I know. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about your journey? How did your whiskey journey start? How did you work along the years? And actually, what was your biggest success? I believe it will be the Chivas 18. But if you can talk about
I think
your career a little bit, it will be perfect.
Yeah, I think, well, my journey in whiskey probably did started before 1973 because I was born in Orkney, so I'm actually an Orcadian, and I grew up because my father was in the whiskey business. I grew up around the distilleries in Orkney, and so there's sort of and my father was very big on responsible drinking. At Pernod Ricard, we have a very strong, strong message to the world about responsibility, responsible drinking, conviviality. You don't drink and drive, etc. But I mean, from a very early age, my father always taught us that we should not consume spirits until we are over 18. So basically it's so good to come from that background, learn about Scotch, learn about the beauty, the wonderful aspects of Scotch, and yet you can have a lot of fun in a very responsible way. And so subconsciously growing up, from my father and going around the distillery, I learned a lot about Scotch whisky subconsciously. After school, I went to Edinburgh and I did accountancy where we actually audited Scotch whisky companies. And that really, I suppose, generated a little bit of enthusiasm and excitement. And so in 1973, I joined the Glenlivet Distillers. And then because Glenlivet was in America, our agents were Seagram, they actually bought Glenlivet in 1978. So I then became part of the Chivas and Glenlivet group because Seagram had already purchased Chivas Brothers in 1949. So that took me then to I sort of started off in the bottling halls and I got into package quality in the bottling halls at Newbridge in Edinburgh. And then with that, because that was all about quality, I got interested in the spirit quality rather as well as the dry goods. And that put me in touch with the blenders, and the blenders then invited me to Paisley, to their headquarters. And there I worked with Jimmy Lang, the previous master blender, my mentor, and there I learned all about the traditions, the heritage, and the blending of Chivas Regal all through the 1980s. And then in December 1988, Jimmy Lang finally retired from the business, and I became the master blender for Chivas Brothers in 1989. And just to sort of put things in perspective, our flagship, of course, was Chivas Regal 12 years old. Our single malt was the Glenlivet, and then, of course, we had Royal Salute 21 years old. So there were just those three main products, and then we had the standards of 100 Pipers, Passport, Something Special, and Queen Anne. But then, of course, what's been happening, I mean, when I started, marketing was only just beginning in the business, and with marketing and also the thirst around the world for new expressions, innovations, that's when new families started to develop within a brand. So Chivas Regal 12 basically ran from 1938 to 1997 before it was joined by Chivas Regal 18 in 1997.
Yeah.
And I had the great fortune of being asked to create that in 1996, and we launched in Japan in 1997. And today, well, Chivas Regal, 18 years old, is a global is loved by people all around the world. So for me, to to be the creator, that my baby is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And and the great thing is today, with innovation still goes, the Chivas family gets bigger and bigger, and our director of blending, Sandy Hislop, and his team, who are fantastic, they now have the responsibility, and they have been adding extensions to Chivas Regal.
Yeah.
And for me, Chivas Regal is in fantastic hands. And one of his teammates, Kevin Bamforth, the Chivas Regal blender today, I actually interviewed him in 1999. And today he's now our Chivas Regal blender. So, it's part of our heritage. It's all about, and our tradition is that as blenders, we are the guardians of the past. We take the past to create the present, like Chivas 18. And then we are responsible to the quality of the new spirits and the casks and the maturation. So we're actually safeguarding the future. So today, Chivas Regal is in fantastic hands, very safe hands of Sandy Hislop, our director of blending, and his team of blenders.
Actually, I will come to that because people sometimes don't know that there's a huge team, not huge team, but there's a team working on the blends and, creating new whiskeys, trying to keep the consistency. And people sometimes easily think that, they just open the tap and Chivas comes out. There's incredible work behind that. And there's a team working on that, blending different whiskeys to create that same taste that we love every year. And I remember during our interview, you told me that, you sample different whiskeys and you blend different whiskeys, and you need to be consistent with the taste and the nose every year after year on Chivas 18. So, this is a hell of a job to just blend different whiskeys and create the same beautiful Chivas 18 taste that we know as a classic tasting note for Chivas 18, which is typical oranges and tangerines and that kind of fruity flavors. Before I continue, I'll just summarize a little bit for our viewers who are not very fluent in English, because that's a nice story you have. Colin yıllardır sektörde. Colin katıldığında çok eski yıllarda katılmış tabii viski işlerine, bu viski dünyasına. Önce Glenlivet'te başlamış. Seagram'da olduğu sırada, Seagram diye bir firma vardı o zamanlar. Bir süre sonra Seagram şu anda Pernod Ricard olarak bildiğimiz firmayı satın alıyor ve böyle bir birleşme yaşanıyor. Ve işte Chivas 12 tabii 1930'lu 40'lı yıllarda, Chivas 18 yok daha. Chivas 12 neredeyse 97 yılına kadar, 60 yıl falan portfolyodaki tek viski. Ve 1997 yılına kadar Colin farklı görevlerde çalışarak firmada bir anlamda yükseliyor ve harmanlamanın başına gelecek kadar tecrübe kazanıyor. Bu dönemde işte packaging'le uğraşmış, yani şişelemeyle ya da işte farklı görevlerde. Bu arada muhasebeyle başlamış işe ve böyle bir noktaya gelmiş. Daha sonra Jimmy Lang'den görevi devralıyor 1989'da ve en büyük eseri olan Chivas 18'i 1997'de yaratarak lansmanı yapılıyor. İlk olarak Japonya'da sunulmuş. Ben de bilmiyordum. 1997 yılında. Ondan sonrasını zaten herkes çok iyi biliyor. Bir anda dünyanın en çok sevilen viskilerinden biri olarak devam ediyor. Şu anda da Colin ayrılıyor ama arkasında da çok güvendiği, sevdiği bir takım olduğu söyledi. Birazdan soracağım zaten onda. Sandy, Kevin gibi isimler şu anda Chivas'ı aynı kalitede, aynı güzellikte devam ettirebilmek için zaten çalışacaklar. Colin, you mentioned about the team and everything. So, how is the blending process? I believe there are two parts to your job. One is to create new blends, and one is to continue the line, like Chivas 12, like Chivas Extra, like 18 or Mizunara. So, how do you work in the team? Some people are responsible for one whiskey, or the whole team works on, the entire portfolio.
Well, when I was the blender, we were basically just a team of three, so it was very small, and everybody worked on everything. And in fact, today, in Sandy and his team in the blending lab, they all work together, and it's a combined. they use all their own individual expertises and come together to ensure that all the scotches, all the Chivas Brothers whiskies remain of the consistent high quality that's expected, and also the consistent taste experience day after day. So Sandy leads the team, but he's supported by all of the team on all occasions for new products. So it's very much a team effort, which is fantastic, and that's what it has to be, and that's what it was when I was the master blender. There was just three of us, and we were very much everything. We discussed everything. We looked at all the samples all the time, because that way, you talk about. So we have people have different strengths in their nose and see different things. So and we have our own language, but because we're a team, we all understand that language, and so at the end of the day, the responsibility. There's one focus, and that is to maintain the quality and maintain the consistency of the taste experience year after year after year. Yeah. And that's what blending is all about. We are, as I said, we're the guardians of the quality of the taste experience from the past, the present, and the future.
Yeah, it's quite a tough job. In my trainings, I always show your photo. I love that charismatic photo where you have a line of whiskeys and you just nose it elegantly. This is a beautiful photo. And then I tell people, so all day they taste different. They just nose different whiskeys, and they blend them to create new whiskeys, or they create Chivas 18, Mizunara 12, the Chivas we know, or 25, the legendary 25. So it's quite a job to blend those whiskeys and create a new totally new experience, or continue the experience you created before. I actually was thinking about Chivas 25. It's a legendary blend because it started the premium category in whiskey history. I have a huge section on whiskey history on my book, and I have the photos of the old bottle and everything. So you see in my book, I have the
all right.
bottle.
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's good.
I'm curious, how did you work? For example, did you have notes on the first one, or how did you recreate such a legendary the bottle?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have at Chivas Brothers. We don't have the original bottle or a sample from the original bottle, and because there was a fire in the offices in Aberdeen, all the records have been lost as well. But I think when the same principle was applied to Chivas 25 as it was to Chivas Regal 18, because what we have for Chivas Regal is a house style that was basically when Charles Howard created Chivas 25 in 1909. He was using the traditions and style sort of created by our pioneer blenders, James and John Chivas. And that's all about smoothness and richness and that lovely gentle space side influence that comes into Chivas. So Charles Howard uses his expertise and his knowledge to create Chivas 25 in 1909. And then from there, Chivas Regal 12 was born, and we know was available from about 1938. So what Chivas Regal 12 was upholding was just the blending traditions and heritage and style for Chivas Regal itself. And it was a case for Chivas 18 is to take that tradition, that style, and not just take the same formula and age it another 6 years for 18, because that would just give a slightly different but very uninteresting product. So what we did was we actually took that style and then selected different whiskies to create different taste experience that would still remain in the Chivas house style of smooth and rich. And this is where and so that was a case of selecting the different whiskies, bringing them together, checking it and tasting, and then saying, yes, that is perfect. That's in the style. It's smooth. It's rich. It's Chivas Regal, but it tastes quite different to Chivas 12. So the same principles again applied to Chivas 25. We just go up to 25 years old, and there, with a different selection of whiskies, you change the balance of flavors. You change maybe the cask formula, bring in a bit of extra this, a bit of extra sherry cask, a little less American white oak. So, you then end up with this wonderful 25-year-old blended Scotch that just shouts Chivas Regal. It has the style, it has the tradition, the heritage, and the DNA. And then, and so it's all about flavor. And when you come to doing things like Chivas Extra with the extra sherry cask, still it's the Chivas Regal, but you have that extra flavor on the sherry. The Mizunara, you have that wonderful sort of wasabi spiciness from the Japanese oak that then sort of balances into the flavor of Chivas Regal, but still maintains that DNA, that style of Chivas Regal. So this is the great thing. I mean, it could be, tequila casks are coming in with other innovations that can be done. So Sandy and his team, I mean, it's fantastic when today, the innovation that will come out of our blending lab from Sandy and his team is going to be phenomenal. And so I think it's very exciting times for the blending lab, not only at Chivas Brothers, but for other blenders around the world. Whereas when I was the blender, the extension of the family was only just starting. But it's fantastic, and I think with when now more and more distilleries are becoming on stream, are being built. When I started, when I was the blender, there were only about 85 operational. Today, there's about 128. So that gives an increase in the palette of flavors for the blenders to select. And so, the future is very, very exciting to be a blender with all the possibilities of new flavors and new oaks that we could mature our whiskey in. That is all under the legal definition of Scotch whisky. And so, I think it's terrific for the industry to have these extensions, because there is a thirst with social media and digital and communication being instantaneous. People want to know, what's next. So, yes, it's tough. It's hard work. But it's very, very exciting from a blending point of view to work with these flavors and be able to create these new innovations with Mizunara, with rye casks, etc., etc. It's wonderful. We've done expressions which are 100% first fill American oak barrels, and that's a fantastic expression, which we have in the Glenlivet line, and we've also done it for our other products. So, I'm sad to be leaving, having left all that aspect, but my goodness me, it is exciting.
It's an exciting
but I've
job.
had a fantastic journey.
Yeah,
but I've had a fantastic journey, and I, just being working with Chivas and the inventory that supports Chivas Regal right up to now, it goes right up to 50-year-old, and Icon, it's tremendous, absolutely. So, and as I said earlier, Chivas Regal, no matter what the innovation, it'll be perfect, it'll be fantastic, and Sandy and his team have Chivas in very safe hands, so I can retire very happy
and comfortably. Actually, I really appreciate it. I feel that you like created a family. It was just, you said Chivas 12, and then in 1997, Chivas 18 came, and then after that, expression after expression, the family is now, very rich with Icon, with 50, with Ultis, and there are several whiskeys around there. Actually, there's also a disadvantage there, because nowadays, as you said, with social media and with the consumption culture, people consume whiskeys, just go, okay, what's next?
Absolutely.
Just slow down.
We might have to slow them down a bit. Let's enjoy.
I just sometimes tell my followers, it's not an old whiskey. The fact that it came out 4 years ago doesn't mean it's an old whiskey. We still enjoy that. So don't wait for, okay, what's next? But that's typical for every industry, not just whiskey. But I believe, you're doing a great job with the family. If you just allow me, I'll just summarize a little bit in Turkish, because this part is really interesting. Biraz önce Colin'e takım çalışmasıyla ilgili bir soru sordum. Biliyorsunuz Colin uzun yıllar tek başına çalışmış. Daha sonra 3 kişiyle çalışarak bu Chivas 18'i yaratmış ve daha sonraki ekspresyonları mizuna ettiler. Ama tabii takım giderek büyüyor. Şu anda Sandy Hislop takımın başında. Yeni Master Blender, yeni başharmancı Sandy Hislop. Sandy'yi de kitabımdan hatırlıyorsunuz. House of Brothers Blend'i mesela harmanlamıştı. Yeni viskilerde de Sandy'nin imzasını görüyoruz. Sandy şu anda yeni takımıyla farklı viskileri yaratıyor zaten. Çok önemli noktalara değindi Colin. Onu burada çok net tekrarlamak isterim. Çünkü bazen sanılıyor ki Chivas 12 yaratılıyor. Chivas 12 6 yıl daha bekletiliyor, 18 oluyor. 7 yıl daha bekletiliyor, 25 oluyor. Öyle bir şey yok. Bunların hepsi farklı viskilerin harmanlanmasıyla ortaya çıkan viskiler ve biraz önce şeyi sordum. Biliyorsunuz Chivas 25 çok özel bir şişedir. Kitapta fotoğrafını gösterdiğim şişe 1909'da lansmanı yapılan bir şişe ve dünyanın ilk premium şişesi olarak biliniyor viskide. Chivas 25'i yeniden nasıl yaratabiliriz derken mesela 25 envanterimizi tekrar gözden geçirdik ve Chivas 12'den 18'den daha kompleks, daha elegan bir viskiyi nasıl yaratabiliriz diye düşünerek yarattık diyor. Yani sanmayın ki aynı viski 6 yıl daha bekliyor, 18 olarak şişeleniyor ya da 6 aynı fıçıda 7 sene daha bekliyor, 25 oluyor. Bu bence harmanlama açısından çok çok önemli bir bilgi, çünkü bazı insanlar aynı viskiyi sanki farklı yıllardaymış gibi düşünebiliyor. Durum öyle değil. Çok farklı viskiler ama DNA kelimesini duyduğunuz arada her damıtım evinin, her markanın bir DNA'sı vardır. Chivas'ın DNA'sı da, özü de Strata'yla damıtım evinin de etkisiyle Chivas 12. Chivas 12 tadım notlarının üzerine kurulan bir piramit gibi düşünün Chivas 18'i, 25'i. O yüzden aynı viskilerin karışmadığı, zaten röportajımda da okumuştunuz. Chivas 12, Chivas 18 ve Chivas 25'in içindeki viskiler aynı damıtım evlerinden gelen viskiler olmak zorunda değil. Farklı viskiler harmanlanıyor. Sadece yaşları farklı, lezzet profilleri ve daha kompleks olmalarıyla onu 18 ve 25 olarak görüyoruz. Şu anda Sandy Hislop devam edecek dedik. Ekibiyle çalışmaya da devam ediyor. Şu anda zaten pek çok yeni viskiler çıkarıyorlar. Biliyorsunuz Mizunara çıktı. Şimdi farklı ekspresyonlar da geliyor. Biraz yasada da ufak değişiklikler oldu. İşte tekila bitişik viskiler falan. Şu anda portfolyo çok heyecanla devam ediyor. Colin de söyledi. Aslında harmancı olmak için harika bir zaman. Çünkü elimizde çok güzel viskiler var. Harika meşe fıçılar var. Hani onların kombinasyonuyla harika harmanlar elde etmek mümkün. Sandy ve ekibi de bunu en iyi şekilde yerine getirecektir diyor ama sesinde de biraz keşke devam etseydi mi hissettim sanki. Viski harmanlamayı seviyor belli ki, zaten aşık olmasa böyle bir işi yapmaz bunca yıl. Thank you, Colin. I just try to summarize everything without boring you with the Turkish remarks.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's,
But I believe you heard DNA, Chivas. There are some common words, so I believe you just understood what I was telling.
Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, I have a question. I have two questions, but I will just combine them together because you already gave some insights on that. For a very long time, you're working for Pernod Ricard, which is like one of the biggest spirits company in the world, and Chivas is one of the biggest brands in whiskey business. And Pernod, as a French company, has an interesting motto: conviviality and conviviality, brotherhood. You know, this kind of mottos, and these are very strong buzzwords. How was it working for Pernod Ricard? You know, about your experience with the company. How was the values, company core values for you?
I mean, the core values of Pernod Ricard are fantastic. As I said, it's all about responsible drinking. And Pernod Ricard has this global activation where one day every year, the whole of Pernod Ricard is called Responsible Day, and it's an education in every country that Pernod Ricard puts out a message on responsible drinking. So that is fantastic. And of course, conviviality is it speaks for itself. It's about conviviality, it's about enjoyment, and it's about responsible enjoyment. And of course, you know, Scotch whisky to me, it's very comforting. You know, in Scotland, I think, you know, we have a pretty poor climate. And so, you know, if you've gone outside and you've maybe gone, you know, sporting activities, like golf or fishing or something, and if the weather's terrible, you come back, you know, you get into a hot bath with a Chivas Regal, and in fact, it's so comforting and relaxing. I think you don't have to have the bad weather to actually experience that emotion by drinking your Scotch, and I think to me, you know, I mean, I've enjoyed Chivas around the world with many people in many different occasions, and it just it brings happiness, it brings smiles, it brings conviviality. So, you know, it's you know, the strapline conviviality, it just speaks for itself, says what it is. And from Pernod Ricard, you know, they have a fabulous portfolio of other spirits and wines to enjoy. Not only, you know, our Scotches of Chivas and Ballantynes and Glenlivet and Abelard, and of course the little malt scapper up in Orkney, that's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
So, and I think just to capture a little part of my journey is that when I started with Glenlivet, that was very much a family company. Seagram's was very much a family company under the Bromptons, and today Pernod Ricard with the Ricard family. So to me, I've actually sort of been in a little family business of Scotch whisky all my career, and to me that is something very special, and I treasure that because, you know, it makes it. People talk about the big corporations, but I would never consider. I don't consider that. I consider, you know, Pernod Ricard and Seagram. They're all a family, and that's important.
Oh, that's great. Personally, I can say whoever I worked with or whoever I met in Pernod Ricard, you know, they have these core values, and, you know, brilliant people. And we just have Sandy with us. He just joined. Whiskey Blender dude is Sandy. Hi, Sandy. It was great to see you here. We were just talking about the blending team, and you know, the team in Turkey, you know, Selçuk and all the team behind it. You know, they're doing a perfect job in you know, sending the message out there and, you know, doing the job brilliantly. So I believe Pernod Ricard is doing a great job with this company motto, you know, the responsible drinking and conviviality. Actually, I will talk about this because I love this. When you said responsibility, I need to talk about this. Colin biraz önce sorumlulukla içmekten bahsetti. Cümlenin başında toplantımızın başında da bundan bahsetmişti. Daha ben çocukken babamdan sorumlulukla içmeyi öğrendim dedi. Bu benim için çok önemli, çünkü ben de babamdan öğrendim sorumlulukla içmeyi, kararında içmeyi. Bu çok önemli bir nokta. Bunu neden dile getirdi Colin? Çünkü Pernod Ricard'ın genel olarak şirket değerlerinden bahsettim. Pernod Ricard'da çalışıyor çünkü. Biliyorsunuz Pernod Ricard dünyanın işte viski devlerinden biri. Glenlivet, Abelard, Chivas, işte Passport falan gibi markalar, her zaman duyduğumuz tüm markalar Pernod Ricard firmasının markaları ve çok ilginç mottoları var. İşte kardeşlik üzerine, eğlence üzerine kurulu. Conviviality diye bir kelimeden bahsediyoruz. Tam Türkçesi var mı bilmiyorum ama eğlence, anı yaşamak, keyif almak gibi çevrilebilir. O yüzden onu sordum. Colin'de çalışmaktan ne kadar mutlu olduğunu ve yıllar içinde Chivas'la ne kadar keyif aldığını söyledi. Biraz önce laf arasında ben Orcadian'ım dedi. Orkney Adası doğumlu. Orcadian deyince de aklınıza Scapa geliyor. Zaten kendisi de Scapa'yı söyledi. Colin, at this point, I will ask you about your favorite single malt. You know, it's really difficult to talk about a favorite, one favorite, because you have them all and you have like 14 distilleries at your disposal. But, you know, do you have a favorite in single malt world?
Yeah, I mean, historically, as a Scotch drinker, I've pretty much favoured blends all my life, but for a long time, Longmorn, which is a classic Speyside single malt, was my favourite, and then Glenlivet will always be in my heart, but as a favourite, Longmorn captured my imagination for all of the time. And then since 2005, when Scapa came into the inventory, today I think I'd take a bottle of Scapa 16. That would be my favourite malt today.
Scapa 16s
I'd like to take
perfect.
all three.
Yeah,
I'd like to take all three, the Longmorn, the Glenlivet, but Scapa 16 it's just a beautiful, you know, it's just a very easy, flavorful, fruity, floral, that vanilla sweetness, that almost tropical fruits in there. So it's just, and it's not it's not a typical island whiskey. It's not that, doesn't have the smoky peatiness that you often find in the island whiskies. It's more like a gentle Speyside. So for me, that is absolutely perfect. That would be my choice.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Actually, I have a small surprise for you because I knew about that you would say Longmorn before from our interview and everything. And when I was doing my book, you know, where I talk about Chivas Regal and Pernod history, you know, I have a couple of pages from Stratila, myself at the Lynn House, and when I had the text mentioning your name and Sandy's,
Right, yeah.
I have asked the graphic designer to put Longmorn here. So actually, your name is right below the Longmorn page, and there are some barcodes. So when people click the barcode, they see my journey, Scotland visit last year in Longmorn. I had several videos on how to, you know, how they distill the whiskey. So you know. I mentioned you about in my book right below Longmorn because I remember you like Longmorn and Scapa, and of course Glenlivet. You know, it's a real classic.
And the other attribute, the great other attribute for Longmorn, it's a wonderful whiskey to work with in blending. And it's actually very sympathetic to other whiskies in a blend, so it's a fabulous friend in blending.
Ah, that's
as
a
well
very
as being you know, an absolute gem. You know, it's a real gem of a whiskey for both
okay.
blending
That's great.
and enjoying as a consumer.
Actually, that would be my next question. I was just going to ask a question which will simplify everything a lot, and I'm sure that the answer is like 3 days. But what is the success of a blend? You know, because, for example, when I ask people, okay, blend whiskeys, they blend and they come up with, you know, unbalanced and, you know, terrible blends from time to time. And but you know, there's this balance to it. There's this secret to it to create a balanced blend. What's the secret? The secret is to use Longmorn, for example.
But I think it's all about, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about flavors, and it's taking those flavors and then balancing them together to create your final taste experience. and you can use a whiskey and you might overuse that flavor, and that then becomes predominant. And in some cases, you might want to keep that flavor as a predominant flavor. But I think, generally speaking, the style of Chivas is very much about a balance of flavors. So when you taste it, you get the apples and pears, the autumn fruits, then you get the sort of the heather and the spring flowers as a floral, you get the honey and the vanilla as the sweetness. But that's all happening together, they're all intermingling. So one sip you get the flowers, second sip you get the fruit, third you get the sweetness. So to me, because of that wonderful, rich, smooth balance of flavors, different people maybe get a different initial taste, and they like it for different reasons. Some people like it for the fruit, some for the floral, but because it's all captured in that one cacophony of flavor, I think that's what really gives Chivas its international appeal to all consumers, male, female, around the world. Because at the end of the day, we don't Chivas Regal is one blend for the whole world. And as you know, people, there's different tastes in the different continents, but yet all the continents love Chivas equally, or some a little bit more than others maybe. But it is, to me, it has that Chivas style, that Chivas taste, has that international appeal and acceptance, and it's fantastic.
It's perfect. Thank you. I'm sure over your career you had many gifts, and people appreciated you. For example, Altis was made on the master blender's honor. So it should be an amazing gift to have something like that on your name, on your on your title. I cannot give you a new whiskey, or I cannot create a new whiskey on your behalf, but I would like to send you my book. I know it's Turkish, and I know you know everything in this book by heart, but I just signed it for you. Hope you like it, and I will send it to you. This is Angel's Share in Turkish. So it's a nice book. I believe it will be translated to English and French soon, and we have the foreword from Ingvar Ronde, and Dave Broom and Charles MacLean also wrote some quotes, and the preface for my book. So this will be my humble gift to you for parting, and we will always remember you. And actually, before I close,
that's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. And
I'll look forward to that.
Yeah,
and it's great. I just feel it's fantastic. I just want to say this is fantastic that you spent the time and put your passion into words, into a book for other people to read, and you're basically spreading the word of our Scotch whiskies, which is fantastic. So thank you very much, not only for that, but also for the gift. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very well received, and we really needed something like that. The last whiskey book was written like 30 years ago, so after 30 years, this was the first whiskey culture book. So it was very well received, and 1,000 copies. It's on the second publication now, so it's going well. And before I close, because Instagram sometimes just abruptly closes the live, I have a surprise for you. I didn't just want to give this book to you, but I asked all my followers to send messages to you as a farewell note, as a thank you note, and I want to read some of them, and some of them were Turkish. I translated for you, and some were in English. So some of them are, thank you, Colin, for every single drop. Thank you very much, Colin. You are the best. This one I really like. Goodbyes are for people who love each other with their eyes. People who love each other through their hearts never part. Isn't it great?
Brilliant. Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah, one guy said, Turkish whiskey lovers owes you extra. Thank you very much for blending Chivas 18 for us. I love that one also. Thank you to the spirit you added to our lives. And one other says, The master who added life to the water of life, live long with every drop. Respects to the master.
Brilliant.
Thank you for every glass of whiskey. Thank you for the contributions. Patience, hard work, and consistency. May your retirement days be very happy. And this one, actually, I just take it to the last but not least, but I really loved it. It says, whether it's a great celebration or the deepest of sorrows or just an ordinary afternoon, you always crown our palates with your whiskey. Thank you.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Bernie, okay, that's fantastic. Thank
Yeah,
you, and thank you all the followers and all your followers in Turkey. Thank you for those very kind sentiments and greetings and good wishes. I feel very humbled by it all, but because you are very special people in Turkey. Thank you.
Thank you. We will definitely miss you. And before I close the interview, I want to just again salute you with your masterpiece. She was 18.
Oh, here we are. Here we are.
Yes. Thank you so much for everything. And yeah, I will also now have some time for our followers and people sending you love and their comments below. So thank you so much, and we have hearts flowing from the right, so people sending their love. Thank you so much for joining this interview, for all the great joy you put in our lives. With she was 18 or she was Mizunara, all the whiskeys, and hopefully I'll see you in Scotland when I visit you when it becomes normal again.
Right. Yeah, well, hopefully everything will open up. So, Mr. Berke, and all my friends in Turkey, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. For me, it's been just a joy talking to Mr. Berke again, and it brings back lots of lovely memories. And Turkey, my time there, my travels there have been fantastic, and I love. I was very lucky to leave with a little bit of Turkish delight, and one of the ones I really loved was their pistachio nuts. They were absolutely delicious.
Yeah, okay.
Seems a strange thing but they are fantastic. But so I just would like to wish all your followers the very best for the future, and keep enjoying and drinking the Chivas Regals, of course, because that'll always be there. And it's very much it's been a great part of my life, and I'm glad I've been able to share a little moment here this afternoon with you. And Mr. Berke, thank you for your inviting me along. Thank you for your passion for Scotch that has produced a book. And now, here's to all of your great future health and happiness and many big drams of Chivas Regal.
Thank you.
Slanjava.
Slanjava. Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you all very much indeed. It's
Thank you, Colin.
Fun.
Have a great day and hope to see you in Scotland soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in Scotland. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Harika bir yayın olmadı mı dostlar ya? Çok çok çok keyif alıyorum ben de böyle şeyler olduğu zaman. Gerçekten hani Meleklerin Payı yolculuğunda böyle çok özel anlar var. Daha diyorum ya 4-5 sene önce ben viskiyi sadece okuduğum kitaplardan, işte izlediğim bir iki videodan anlatırken, sizlere yazarken amacım artık bu işi böyle hani gerçekten yapan, bu işin mutfağındaki insanlarla konuşup öğrenmekti ve ilk yüz yüze röportajımı Colin'e yaptım ben. Viskilerin nasıl karıştırıldığını, işte harman viskinin nasıl yapıldığını falan 2 saatlik bir sohbetimiz olmuştu Fransız Sarayı'nda. Can Akıncı'ya da teşekkürlerimi ileteyim. Onun sayesinde tanışmıştık ve yapmıştık bu röportajı. Müthiş şeyler öğrendim o 2 saatte. Hani kitaplarda öğrenmeler, videolar izlemeler, işte yerinde gidip görmelerden çok daha özel. Çünkü Chivas'ı yaratan adam bu. Hani önüne yüzlerce şişeyi koyup tek tek koklayıp bu 30-40 viskiyi karıştırırsak Chivas 18 olur diyen burun bu adam. O yüzden böyle bir yayını yapmış olmak benim için de çok çok önemli. Gerçekten yaşarken efsane olmuş bir insan. Ama tabii sorularda geliyor, ne oluyor, Colin gidiyor falan. viski dünyasında her zaman arkadan üstatlar bırakılır. Biraz önce Whiskey Blender Dude diye bir hesap gördünüz. Belki hala buradadır. Sandy bundan sonra Master Blender olarak Chivas'ın başında ve hep ekip olarak çalışıldığı için hiçbir zaman o kazanılan şey kaybolmuyor. Sürekli bir sonraki bir genç kişiye aktarılıyor bütün notlar ve deneyimler. O yüzden Chivas Mizunaralar, işte 18'ler, 12'ler hepsini şey yaptığımızı, hani şu anda nasıl zevk alıyorsak yıllarca aynı zevkleri almaya devam edeceğiz. Tabii ekip gençleştikçe yepyeni inovatif viskiler de göreceğiz. O yüzden zaten sürekli yeni Chivas'lar görüyoruz. O da yeni ekibin sayesinde. O yüzden benim için çok çok güzel bir yayın oldu. Umarım sizler de benim kadar keyif almışsınızdır. Son kısmı hani sizlere biraz özetleyeyim. İşte en sevdiği single maltları sorduğumda Longmorn, Scapa ve Glenlivet'in adı geçti. Scapa'yı daha önce de söylemişti bana, Orkney'li olduğu için. Scapa damıtım evinin bahçesinde büyümüş Colin. Hani düşünün, adamın çocukluğu damıtım evinde geçiyor. Onun bahçesinde oynardım falan diyor. Longmorn'dan bahsetti. Longmorn'u ben de çok severim. Single malt şişelemelerini çok bulamıyoruz ama Longmorn gerçekten müthiş bir viski ve orada çok küçük bir, çok harika bir tüyo verdi. Longmorn damıtım evi o kadar güzel viskiler yapıyor ki harmanlarda çalışması çok kolay dedi. Hani bunu şey gibi düşünebilirsiniz. Bir palette renkler var. Hani bazı renkler vardır, çalışması kolaydır. Bazı renkler vardır, hani azıcık kotarsınız. Mesela siyah çalışması zordur çünkü bir anda hani karıştırır tuvalinizi. Longmorn çalışması çok kolay ve harmana çok iyi giden bir single malt dedi. Longmorn'dan bahsetti. Ben de kitabımın Longmorn fotoğrafının altına getirmiştim Colin'in adını Sandy ile birlikte. Hani o küçük bir dokunuştu. Bugün de Longmorn'dan bahsetmesi hoşuma gitti. Ben de işte kitabı imzaladım ve Colin'e göndermek istiyorum. İnşallah bu şeyler, hani, korona morona sıkıntı yaşamazsak şeyden, kargolardan. Ama sürpriz oldu. Bu arada Colin bugünkü sorularımdan bazılarını biliyordu tabii. Öncesinde haber verdik. Hani şöyle şöyle sorular konuşabiliriz, bu konularda konuşacağız diye, ama sizden gelecek mesajları bilmiyordu. Eminim onlar da çok hoşuna gitmiştir. Bu arada gerçekten çok güzel mesajlar geldi. İnşallah onları da sizlerle hani paylaşacağım. Zaten bu yayını daha sonra işte YouTube'da, web sitemde falan şey yapmak istiyorum, paylaşmak istiyorum. Bu özel bir yayında, hani herkes izlesin, herkes faydalansın isterim. İşte en son okuduğum yorum mesela, şu anda hangi okurumdan geldi hatırlamıyorum ama Türkçe gelmişti. Ben İngilizcesini söyledim. Türkçesini buraya not almamışım ama İngilizceden tekrar Türkçe'ye çevireceğim. İster büyük bir kutlama olsun, isterse üzüntümüzün en dip, en aşağı noktası veya herhangi bir öğleden sonra her zaman damaklarımızı taçlandırıyorsunuz yarattığınız viskilerle demiş bir okurum. Bu çok hoşuma gitti benim de. Zaten Colin de yayında şey yaptı, bundan bahsetti. Yavaş yavaş zaten yayının sonuna geliyoruz, biliyorsunuz Instagram pat diye kesiyor ve birkaç yayındır 19.8 deyip kapatıyoruz yayını. Bu sefer öyle şey yapmayalım, acele etmeyelim. Güzelce bay bay diyelim. Canlı yayınlarım devam edecek. Bu arada epeydir soruyordunuz. Zoom tadımlarım da başlıyor. İlki 1 Temmuz'da olacak. Storylerimden ve şeylerimden, paylaşımlarımdan görebilirsiniz. Zoom üzerinden en azından sizlerle birlikte olacağım. Yakın zamanda da yüz yüze tadımlarım başlıyor. Çünkü şeylerimizde, hani mekanlarda yavaş yavaş açılıyor. Bugün Perapalas Oteli'nde açıldı haberi geldi. Biliyorsunuz orada yapıyorum eğitimlerimi. Sizlerle tekrar bir araya geleceğiz. Katıldığınız için çok çok teşekkür ediyorum. İyi ki varsınız. Slancıva, Şivaslarımızı Colin Scott'a kaldırıyoruz.